Morning. It's Sunday, January 10th, and today is my brother's birthday. He's the patriarch of the family. He's my older brother. I'm not going to tell you how old he is, so I'm wishing him happy birthday today. Happy birthday, Marty, and many more. I'll talk to you later. But first I want to talk about gullibility, about people who are supposedly fairly intelligent, who believe everything they see or hear in various places and read. And they believe these things not because they are true, but because they want to believe it, because it fits into something that's very important in their lives. And these are people who won't check what has been told to them. They take it at face value. They believe it because it fits into a narrative that supports their ideals, their life force. And unfortunately, many of these individuals have a following. They are newspaper writers. They are TV journalists. They are commentators. And the worst of all are politicians. And unfortunately, these people have followers. So the groundwork that I just laid is the introduction to a monumental lie that was presented to the public on the pages of the Washijngton Times, a right-wing newspaper. The Times claimed that a facial recognition software company, XR Vision, had identified at least two of the mob that was inside the Capitol as members of Antifa, the left wing. But here's a big but. XR Vision has said their statement, the Times statement, is a lie. The two people that they identified using their facial recognition software were not Antifa. One was a neo-Nazi, and the other was a QAnon supporter. That's about as far away from Antifa as you can get. And there can be no doubt that these portraits were clearly identifiable, since the perpetrators inside were taking selfies of themselves. Imagine that. You're breaking the law. You break into the Capitol of the United States, and you take selfies of yourself, and you take selfies of all your compadres, and you put them out there for the world to see. So I assure you that XR Vision has it right. So it didn't take long for the lie in the Washington Times to get to Fox News and even to the House of Representatives. And let me give you a list of the people who spouted the lie that Antifa was the perpetrator of these riots. I'll start with the politicians. Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida. He's the same guy that was caught in New Jersey at a big gathering of people celebrating something, and he was there without his mask. So he's not the brightest guy in the world. Then you got Representative Paul Gosar from Arizona, who led the challenge to the state's electoral votes during the joint session of Congress. And then you got Representative Mo Brooks of Alabama, who told Fox Business News host Lou Dobbs that there are some indications that the fascist Antifa elements were involved. They embedded themselves in the Trump protests. And then we had Sean Hannity, Trump's unofficial advisor, who claimed those who truly support President Trump do not commit acts of violence. and Laura Ingraham, saying they were likely not all Trump supporters. I have never seen Trump rally attendees wearing helmets, black helmets, brown helmets, black backpacks, the uniforms you saw in some of these crowd shots. And then there was Sarah Palin, the same person who saw Russia from her house in Alaska, saying it's a lot of Antifa folks. She could tell that by the pictures she was looking at. And of course, Newsmax and Sinclair stations jumped right into the mix, along with the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. You remember him. He's the one who was suing 4 states and brought it to the Supreme Court and lost because he had no control over those states' electoral votes. Meanwhile, PolitiFact and Snopes confirmed there was no evidence but a mob of Trump supporters. And of course, many of these Trump supporters had openly plotted for weeks on social media and posed for photos during the siege of the Capitol. Then there were a couple who are celebrities in this world. Angeli, who is better known in the MAGA world as the Q shaman, a prominent member of QAnon circles. And you saw him in these videos wearing the furry horn bison costume, which he has worn to many Trump events. And then there was Heimbach, who's a prominent white nationalist and who helped promote the deadly Charlottesville protest in 2017. And then there's a guy known as Baked Alaska. He's a far-right live streamer who frequently interviews white nationalists. And then we got another politician, Derek Evans, who live streamed himself inside the Capitol. And he's a newly elected member of the West Virginia. And these are the people who are out there. These are the people, not Antifa. Yet the minute the word Antifa was thrown into the mix, all of these Trump loyalists jumped on it. Not one of them took the time to find out if it was true. And then they'll blame the Washington Times for getting it wrong. So that's what we're dealing with in this country. The people cited in this rant don't want the truth. They just want to promote their truth, which is as far from the truth as it can get. The truth and the facts do not exist in their world. Well, that's all I have for now. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.